All right, guys, back with Turner Talk number 16. This one's about losing now to win later. Concept actually presented by Zach Rosen. So that's another thing. In the comments, get in the comments, guys. When you're commenting on YouTube or Facebook or whatever, I'm going to jump in the comments and dialogue with you guys too. So make sure you're getting in the comments and suggesting new topics, because that's like the most difficult thing here is figuring out how to, what topics to go in on and what topics you guys want me to talk about. So suggest topics in the comments. Anyway, like I said, this one is losing now to win later. So, oftentimes, like at the beginning of something, you're gonna lose a lot. And we talked about last time how to deal with loss effectively and learn from it. Take the appropriate grieving process time, learn from it, and then don't be scared to go at it 100% again. So that process is very, very important, right? And so whenever you are beginning to do anything, you're gonna lose a lot and you're gonna learn a lot of lessons and get better. But at the same time, you have to understand that we don't want to jump in and cut corners so that we can start winning early and not do the things we need to do to build the fundamental building blocks that are going to help us win more often and also later, right? So that's the first thing I want to talk about, and it's kind of like a little league concept, right? A lot of coaches understand that you need to teach your kids double legs, single legs, high crotches, stance in motion, sprawl, the basics, the fundamentals, the building blocks. That's why they're called fundamentals, because they're the building blocks of wrestling. You're going to get in these situations every single match. You're going to be in front head position every single match you wrestle, pretty much. So you better be good from scoring from front head position and also scoring from underneath a front head position, right? Those are fundamental building blocks. Now, if I just come out and teach kids how to headlock people or snake people or things that I think are developmentally advanced, like you can come out and teach a kid how to ride legs, but they don't know how to shoot or sprawl or anything like that. If they get on top and get their legs in, of course, the novice kid's probably not going to know what to do to get out of them, right? And they're going to be effective and they're going to win matches that way, but you're not building the fundamentals. So later, when kids get better and kids understand how to get out of legs and things, now what are you going to do? Because you can't take them down because you haven't worked on your high crotch, single leg, double leg, and getting those effectively on the better kids, right? So you got to build the fundamentals. And while I'm building the fundamentals, right, if a coach is doing a really good job of slowing it down and maybe looking at somebody's stance for a week and then starting to look at, how they're taking people down with their double legs, single legs, high crotches, starting to look at sprawls. That could be a couple week process depending on how much you're breaking things down. And if you're wrestling novice, say you jump in and you start getting, you're going to get beat because you haven't gone through all these positions. You haven't done a lot of stuff on top, a lot of stuff on bottom, right? So you're going to kind of struggle in those areas. But at the same time, that coach is building those fundamental building blocks, and you're going to lose now, but he's putting you or she's putting you in a position to win later, right? So sometimes you got to lose now, sacrifice now to win later. So another thing about wrestling is novice and open. Some people will keep their kids in novice because they're winning, right? And what they're doing is they're sacrificing their kids' development because, yeah, you need to balance it, right? You don't want your kid just getting hammered and getting frustrated with the sport, but at the same time, they need to be developing in the sport. So if they're winning every single novice tournament, you need to find tougher tournaments. And the same thing applies to rooms and stuff like that. If I'm beating everybody in my room, I probably need to find another room. I probably need to find some outside training to make sure I'm continuing to challenge myself in this important early developmental stage. Because I promise you, your college coaches that are recruiting and stuff, they don't care about Little League. They don't care about junior high. Yeah, when you get to high school, things start to get a little bit more important for the person that's like a top tier kid that's looking to be like a 4-time champion, 4-time state placer. But even like your middle of the road kids can really come on and develop in high school. So your freshman year and your sophomore year still might be about development, still might be about challenging myself and getting outside of myself and going and getting beat in some places so that I can learn and get better, so that my senior year and my junior year, I can be at the top of the podium and still getting a good college scholarship and stuff like that. So back to the point, lose now to win later also applies to your high school stuff. I need to get out and go to Fargo and go to Super 32 and go to preseason nationals. I know that stuff's coming up pretty quick. I need to go challenge myself, right? And if I go challenge myself and do really well or get beat now, that's going to help me to win later. So relating it back to life is sometimes in life I got to lose now a little bit to win later. So for instance, I'm at this job and I'm at the highest level of this job. Well, there's this other job, right? And I might have to go down just a little bit at the beginning, but its ceiling is so much higher. So I go down just a little bit at the beginning to build, and then I'm way past where I could have gone before, right? I lose a little bit now to win later. Same thing is true, say for instance, if I want to start my own business, it might be the same kind of thing. I go from a really high paid salary job that's safe and stuff to another job that's not as safe, not as lucrative at the beginning, but has the capacity to build to whatever I want it to be as long as I'm working it, right? So I might need to lose now to win later. But yeah, losing now to win later. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Make sure you're commenting topics that I can go over for you guys. Yeah, Turner Talk number 16. Lose now, win later. Appreciate it.